Love Island 2021 is dead. It is dead, okay? Even if they somehow resurrect this show, it's gonna be known as the worst season of Love Island history. My name is Leah, and today we're going to be talking about Love Island. I don't even watch anymore.
And now I feel great. I feel happy. I feel free from...
I'm just following via Twitter, and
I don't read any news, and I'm fine.
I think it's time for us to break down why we're so freaking addicted to Love Island, how we break the shackles of Love Island.
I'm going to tell you what your issue is.
And most importantly, I think the producers need a bullet point list of why we actually watch the show. Because they seem to have forgotten. They seem to think that we're watching it for toe sucking and spitting into people's mouths.
It's disgusting to be related to you.
And they're literally killing their own show. They're killing it. Like, I don't know. So I thought I'd make a list for them so they'll know why we actually watch the show. I sound angry. I'm not angry. I don't care. But
Nothing.
I would not talk about the commercialization of Love Island and the sanitization of it, like taking away the smoking zones in this video. So if you want to see that, let me know, because they've changed Love Island a lot from how it was in the previous first 2-3 seasons, and that's very interesting. But I'm just gonna talk about the later seasons, let's say Kem and Chris onwards. Timestamps down below. You can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're feeling me today, if you're feeling this today.
So get off your cell phones. I mean, unless you taking pictures of me.
I'm feeling myself. If you're living under a rock, what is Love Island? Love Island is where the hottest of the UK population, which they seem to have forgotten this season, and the hottest of the UK population who are of heterosexual, well, it's implied, of heterosexual orientation, go onto an island, it's Spain, go onto an island and they compete for 50k by coupling up with one another.
I just know I need to look fucking hot. I need to be sexy. And give them some sex eyes.
That's the show. It's basic. Yeah, it's a simple premise, but they still mess it up.
I couldn't say the words, so I kind of just stood there.
It's freaking addictive. And it's even spun off other series like Too Hot to Handle, so you know it's good if it's done that. So that's the obvious basis, okay? But here's what makes Love Island so good, different from other stories. Let's go for a chat.
Right, anyways, nice chat.
I think let's go for a chat is one of the most powerful Love Island terminology ever. And here's why. We're watching the show because we kind of like how it reflects real life problems. Even though they're hot, they still have real life problems. It's nice to see. Let's go for a chat doesn't happen in real life.
You know, if the guy's not here, you still got a chat.
I'm not interested in what you have to say.
Just ghosting, no communication, no answers, no nothing. So let's go for a chat is basically so freaking euphoric. It's yes, go for a chat and let's sort it all out.
I think what's happened is just a massive level of miscommunication.
Oh my god, it's so addictive hearing that let's go for a chat line, because you know something's going to be resolved. You know there's going to be conflict resolved. You know that they're going to talk about something in a very communicative manner. They're not just going to be and let the situation die. In real life that won't happen.
Call me when you want to be honest.
In real life, if the Amber, Michael, what's her name? Joanna situation happened, Michael's not going for a chat with Amber.
I don't care what they say about me. You know what I mean? But
He's not gonna be like, Amber, I know we spent 4 or 5 beautiful weeks together and, I'm not cracking on with Joanna. He'll just be like, bye. And that's it. That would have not happened at all. And even him apologizing to Amber right before she went off, Like, we needed that as an audience. We needed that release, but let's face it, it would have never happened if Let's Go for a Chat was not a staple piece of Love Island. Love Island's a reality show. It's not faked or staged, but it is produced. I don't think so! Producers are like, you know, go pull that one for a chat, go pull that one for a chat, go pull that one for a chat. Like, they make sure people talk to each other. They have nothing else to do, but they make sure people talk to each other and they have to confront whatever issue. I remember one time in an interview, season 4, Laura, Scottish Laura, said that her and Meghan had beef. They would talk about it kind of in like the smoking area, which was not shown on screen. But then the producer was like, right, you need to go and have a chat about that on the balcony. And they went and had a chat about it on the balcony. Memes and UK Twitter. We live for Twitter. We live for the Twitter.
I don't know, the internet?
9 o'clock, we're on it. Commercial break's fine. We're going to be on Twitter. We needed that break. Okay? Because UK Black Twitter, because let's face it, it's Black Twitter, is immaculate. So good that they incorporate in the show. You know there's going to be a tweet game on the show. You know that they're going to read some of the tweets. One of the best ways they use this, I really think, is season 3, I think, because it's Kem and Chris. Kem and Chris's season, where they read out the tweet from Stormzy saying, "Nah, mate, you're too good for her."
Tick. Blank. You're too good for her, mate.
And everyone's like, oh, it's Olivia. And then all the islanders are like, at that moment, Amber was like, see, Stormzy backs us. Stormzy backs us.
Oh my God, Stormzy backs us.
And it was just such a big, like, tense moment. And it just really gives the islanders a perception of what's happening on the outside. So
I'm not worried about me at all.
they really know how to like inject fear into these islanders with public perception, because it really scrambles their brains since they have no sense of time, no sense of anything. And just for us as the audience, having Twitter and having that release of being able to like create funny memes and talk about the show and have something which we collectively all watch together, so we collectively can all talk about it and we know everyone's up to date. Like, it's not like something else like Stranger Things or like Game of Thrones back in the day, because you know everyone is watching. You know everyone's keeping updated on this show. So there's no like, no spoilers. You're going to get spoiled with Twitter. It's going to happen. There's no Twitter etiquette on spoilers, you know, because you should have been updated. So that's the brilliance of Twitter. And I really think also Twitter's such a good way to keep pulse of like public perception. It's so uniquely like accurate of like what the public thinks. You know, like anyone who wasn't on Twitter would have thought that Molly May and Tommy were going to win season 5. But anyone on Twitter would have known, no, Amber and Greg are going to win. Like, they're the ones who own Twitter and Black Twitter, and they're the ones we want to win. So it is funny, like Twitter, they need Twitter. It would not be, people watch just so they can create a viral tweet. I mean, iconic memes like Chris sleeping, Amy saying, I came back here to tell you I loved you. Like, there's so many good ones. And you can see the pictures and just know the sound. You need entertaining people and good casting of friendships. I know they say it's not Friendship Island, but we do live for some of the friendships. And you need entertaining people who are extroverted, who, like, not that they have to be like camera ready, but they have to be kind of not bothered about the camera. Again,
I don't have the energy to get up.
Maura Higgins, like, you have to be kind of not bothered about the camera, and you have to have the ability to like mix and gel with different people. You can't just be like sitting in the lounge somewhere. The friendships make this show. I'm sorry, they do. Right now, Liberty and Kaz are the best, like the best chemistry out of the whole show compared to anything else that's going on. But the power of friendships really can be seen from Kem and Chris. Like, they've made a career out of their friendship in the beginning anyway. Because we just love seeing their friendship. We love seeing the bromance. We love seeing like girl code when it's like girls, like Amber and Anna. Whether you like them or not, you like the friendship. You like seeing people together. You like seeing people, you know, like come together and help one another and not just be in complete competition, because that would have been sad, like if all of them are in complete competition. It's nice seeing like kind of alliances being formed and people being like, no, like egging them on and being like, go and talk to her, go and talk to him, and like backing them 100%. Which I think Kem and Chris really did for each other. You know, when they had doubts, they would talk in each other's ear and like, you know, try and tell each other like, do this, do that. It's really entertaining to watch. For Amy, I think it was very entertaining to see. Even though the girls are not like friends with her, they still came together for her. So even when it's not like a big friendship, it's still nice to see like groups of people together and seeing their dynamics.
At least this place has shown you his true colours. You deserve the best. I never thought he'd do that to me.
Curtis definitely knew the power of friendships because he really tried to be the new Kem and Chris with Curtis and Tommy, you know. So friendships are very important in Love Island. I mean, they were so important that people wanted Amber and Anna to win, Amber and Ovi to win as a friendship couple. Because that's genuine, that's real. Friendships are more easily formed than relationships. Less likely to be broken. And even when they're broken, it's still betrayal, it's still drama. So you still want to watch it. You still want to watch it. You know, if there wasn't friendship between Maura and Anna, would Maura go and tell Anna, hey, Jordan's cracking on with her? No.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You what? Where?
Let me explain everything, Maura.
Girl code and boy code is also very important in this show. And I think people like watching how women interact when there's like only women and how they perform girl code.
As time's gone on, I've learned like you're not a girl's girl.
And how boys interact when there's no girls and how they perform boy code. So boy code for me was very interesting to watch because like when are you ever going to get the opportunity to see men talking about women and actually see what they talk about? Like not, you know, like TV and films and whatever try and portray it, but like actually see it. Like for example, in Winter Love Island, they formed the Breakfast Club.
Well, so when you do eat, what are you
When I did eat, I had a bit of tomato, tomato as well.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Any bread?
Not quite. It was close. I thought.
Talking about like what bits they've done. Like it's so interesting to watch like how boys talk and like what they talk about. And I remember Luke, he was the runner-up with Luke and Shanice. Luke was talking to the boys at the Breakfast Club about what he did in the hideaway. And honestly, I don't think he meant it maliciously. It's interesting to watch it happen, like how he's talking about it, and then it come up later in a challenge. Again, storylines come up, the Storygate thing, where they said that, oh, Shanice is going to be heartbroken when she finds out that Luke told the boys what they did in the hideaway.
I don't appreciate how you handled the situation. You handled it wrong.
It's funny to see how like all these codes are created in this like micro society, when really like those don't exist in real life. Like unless that's actually your friend.
You never know. Like everyone always surprises you in it. You just don't know.
Casa Amor. Oh my god, Casa Amor is created by the devil, but it's so entertaining. Casa Amor is when you know the drama's gonna come down, or the tension, or the whatever. It's the lad's holiday. It's a holiday on a holiday. There's gonna be lots of Willy! And like a trauma bond, or you know, they're stuck with that person on the island, so that's their point, to escape, to check out their options. And they're even allowed to check out their options and then come back and be like, no, but I was faithful and loyal to you. But they can still like check out their options.
A bunch of new honky fit hot men.
So you know it's going to create havoc and chaos. I remember back in Jack and Danny's season when they sent postcards. Oh no, they didn't send postcards. Yes, they did. And videos. The reunion is amazing because it's like so many couples reuniting together. So there's so much drama in like one episode, guaranteed. Like if 3 couples recouple, that's enough drama for the whole episode. It's like, wow, betrayal.
Congrats, hun.
1 week. Left you for 1 week. And I think it's really good because it leaves the islanders with their own thoughts and like their own freedom to like really think what they want. Great example is Amy Curtis, because Amy was in Casa Amor saying that she's in
This waiting has paid off, and I have fallen in love with someone like Curtis.
love with Curtis. And Curtis was in the main villa saying that he wants to crack on with Jordan. Like, they're in completely different minds, and that never would have happened if Jordan had just come in as a bombshell. Casa Amor is great. This show would actually be nothing without Casa Amor. This show really brings up societal issues and basically social issues, you know, social dilemmas that happen in the UK and in other places, but I think sometimes it is specific to the UK. For example, in Kem and Chris's season, Camilla talks about feminism with Johnny, and she finds out that Johnny's not a feminist, and therefore she cannot be with Johnny because he's not a feminist, he doesn't believe in feminism. So stuff like that, it just really brings out issues happening in UK society. I know people talk about diversity, and it's going to be controversial. People talk about diversity and the cast should be more diverse. I think the fact that the cast is not diverse and the treatment of black women don't want it to happen because it shouldn't happen at the expense of black women. But unfortunately, it does. You know these women are beautiful, but you're purposely bringing men who don't like black women.
What the frick?
It's really showing, like, highlighting what's happening in UK society, because unfortunately, there is the perception of I want someone with blonde hair and blue eyes in the UK that's seen as most desirable, or someone who's like very, you know, tiny, petite Asian. That's normal in UK society. So I think the show actually should reflect that, so people should get annoyed. I just wish it didn't happen in the expense of black women, because like, why can't you bring in someone who likes, like, people who like black women?
No, it was called the Icon Party, but there were no icons there.
Like, don't act like it's not hard to find. Look at Love Island USA. They're dominating black women, like dominating that show.
I make them famous.
I really like season 5 because you had people from all over. Like, you had Amber, who was from up north. You had Anna and, you know, Jordan. Oh, not Jordan. Anna, Ovi, who were like from London, and they were talking about how like Londoners have like a separate way of talking, which is true. You had Maura, Greg, who are from Ireland, Anton from Scotland. So you had all these different people coming together to show like how diverse the UK is in a way. But I did like that because it showed like how different people are, and like you one day being from Northern Ireland, like it is very dynamic when you see like the casting and stuff. The casting horrible this year, but like at that time it was very dynamic that season, I feel. Has anyone noticed that Ian Stirling is like not there? Like,
oh, she passed away? Oh. All right.
Where's his commentary? Ian Stirling is so important to Love Island. Ian Stirling knows. If I was Ian Stirling, I would demand a raise every time I come back to the show. I would.
No, well, I didn't really want to be here, so I was made to be here. So obviously I'm just like wanting to get this over with and get on with my life.
Hold that show at gunpoint because he is so integral to the show. His narration makes the show a million times better. So good. Like the David Attenborough narration. Gold.
Why? Why?
The Island is at the same time. He's so good at making sure that his jokes land because I think he must be following Twitter. He must know like who people like and who they don't like because it shows in his jokes like who he slights and who he doesn't slight. For example, season 5, he was always making fun of the fact that people turn to Curtis a professional ball dancer. Like, he's not a professional. Like, why turning to him for therapy? But he always made like subtle fun of them. It was so good. This season, he's not even speaking because they're not giving him anything to talk about.
I do not want to comment.
We've talked about this before, but as the show gets bigger, public perception is very important because the Islanders, I think, maybe forget, or some of them are hyper aware, like Curtis, hyper aware of what people are saying. But
everything you're saying is going in one ear and out the other.
by injecting public perception, it creates so much storylines. Because that one morsel of like knowing how people feel about them is that one morsel, and they can really twist and turn it. Like, for example, they wanted to make Molly May the villain, so they kept trying to suggest that the public hates Molly May through like all the tweets and all the, you know, like, he doesn't like Tommy, she wants the 50k, like that was like a famous tweet.
I just like, what? It's just all like, what the hell?
And they try to make people the villain through like public perception, because like,
Wait, do you think that in 5 years people will still be saying she's a bitch? I hope so. I hope they do.
Like, then they start changing themselves. Michael completely changed after the whipping comment. Curtis understood that Amy's not liked by the public from Tweetgate, and he slowly, I think the wheels were starting to turn, like he needs to ditch Amy.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
So like, public perception is very important. The problem is when the islanders are too obsessed with public perception. Basically, using Love Island to trial their social media careers. You know, they're using Love Island to trial their social media careers. So this is their first taste of knowing if the public likes them or not.
I'm an actress now, Andy.
Yes.
And it creates so much storylines, because it creates like little, the Love Island producers are cruel. They know how to like create little like seeds of doubt in people's minds about what the public thinks about them, what the public wants them to do, like suggestive. So it really like antagonizes the, you know, the contestants, because they know how the public thinks. I think the biggest, like, the best example of this, Lucy. Where did Lucy get the idea that she wants Tommy? It was that tweet. Like, she's like, like, maybe I should go back to Tommy. Like, that tweet really brought things into her mind, because they were saying that Lucy and Tommy should be together, not Tommy and Molly May. So let's not pretend like the tweet didn't put little ideas into Lucy's mind. Entertaining people who back themselves, and this is the most important point. The most important point, and why the show is failing now, and why the show might die. You need people who, regardless of the public, regardless of what people think of them, are going to be true to themselves, and who know how to be entertaining. Like, they have to be very extroverted. They have to be willing to like back themselves.
I am what I am, and I'll stand by that, and I'll fucking stand by that.
Thus, they have to be willing to take risks and chances and be vulnerable on TV.
I just feel like I'm trying to be so honest, and
whether the public likes it or not. For example, Olivia kind of understood she got liked, and that Chris, she kept saying it as well. She said, oh, the public loves Chris and they don't love me because they see him as such a good boy, blah blah blah. She was well aware of the public perception, but she didn't care. She was like, I'm Olivia. I'm just
going to answer, honestly, and it's not going to go down well, but I have to.
You need people who, regardless of the public, are going to just keep doing them. Like, Molly May was like, I'm not fake, and her career social media, so she must be very like public. She was very social media trained, even before Love Island. She had friends who were former Love Islanders, so she kind of knew the game, but she did not bow to pressure. She's just like, I'm just going to keep going on with Tommy, and I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to do my thing, whether the public like me or not, whatever.
You never know. Like, everyone always surprises you in here. You just don't know.
Can't deny that Love Island have really good storytelling. They do. They have really good storylines, really good storytelling.
okay, no, and that's the thing. I didn't want to carry this on because it's boring me to death now. But
And cliffhangers. I know the cliffhangers have not been like hanging this season, but they usually have very good cliffhangers.
I wasn't done, Stephen.
One of the best parts of Love Island is that we can follow this storyline. Like, we are not confused when we follow the storyline, and there's like usually multiple storylines happening. I'm gonna give you an example. So from season 5, I remember when people came back from Casa Amor, there was multiple beautiful storylines which made complete sense. There was Lucy, who we had already seen kind of like Tommy, so they made sure to show that, like Tommy, and she's coming back and she's like crying, like, I love Tommy, to Molly May, and that was its own storyline. There was Michael and Amber's storyline, you know, Michael leaving Amber for Joanna, and then calling her childish, and then, you know, them having to resolve that. So that storyline was very coherent because we already knew that Amber and Michael, you know, she was kind of reserving her feelings, and then he was kind of insecure because of the whole Tweetgate, which they instigated. They injected a little insecurity into him, saying that he has, what did they say? He's whipped for Amber. He didn't like that. He was whipped for Amber. So that storyline made coherent sense. There was also another storyline with Jordan, Anna, and Ovi. And Jordan and Anna had been like kind of getting along, and then, you know, 6 foot Ovi comes and sweeps Anna at Casa Amor, and then she comes back and she wants Jordan for some reason. I don't understand, but she wanted Jordan. She was cuckoo for Jordan. So that all made coherent sense, and they make sure to have coherent storylines so we understand like what's going on, because you can't just, like, for example, they couldn't just show later in the series, they couldn't just show Anna shouting at Jordan for trying to crack on with India. It doesn't make sense. If you go back and watch, Anna says in multiple episodes, he spends a lot of time with India. He spends a lot of time with India. He's there spending a lot of time with India. Like, it actually makes perfect sense when you watch it. It's not out of the blue, because Jordan does say for a couple of episodes, I'm not feeling Anna, even though he made her his girlfriend.
All I'm saying is I want to have fun with you.
Well, sorry, a relationship's not always going to be fun, babe. It's not always going to be fun. There's going to be times when your other half is upset or down. You don't avoid them afterwards.
I didn't avoid you.
It's not.
So they make sure to have like proper storylines and damn good cliffhangers. They make sure to like keep us right there on the edge of our seat. Like, who are you gonna choose? Or like, they'll show you a little snippet, or they do it through snippets as well. Like, tomorrow night, da 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 da, and then whatever. Like, I remember when season 5 they did the spill your drink thing on the headline, so like they have to match the headline with who it's about, and there was a sneak peek of Bella throwing a drink at Molly May, and everyone was like, what happened? What was said about her? Like, oh my god, why does Molly May look like that? And it was such a good sneak peek, so they really know how to do that. And the last thing, which I think is a side note, but like, the problem with the show is that they're trying to make people villains.
Why? Why?
Too much. I know, like in season 5, Destiny's Childish like naturally evolved, and that's because you have to naturally just allow it to evolve, because Michael was never supposed to be a villain. It just naturally occurred. You know, by his own volition, it actually occurred. I think when you try too hard to make someone a villain, because they need villains in this show, it's shown and it's forced, and that person tries so hard to like not become a villain that you can see like they're not acting genuine at all.
This is what happens to sneaky backstabbers.
So we need the show to stop trying to produce villains. You need people who are confrontational, you need people who will go for what they want, you need people who are just entertaining in general, like who are just doing stupid things.
You don't really act, you don't sing, you don't dance, you don't have any, forgive me, any talent.
When they're bored, like Georgia Steele was like, I'm bored, I'm just gonna go do stupid things. Oh, I'm done. Yeah, I'm just so done.
I actually give up. What a prick.
Let me know in the comments down below, what was your favourite season? Who are your favourite people? And are you watching Love Island? Are you done with it like me? Let me know.